The room was silent, save for the soft lullaby playing from the USB video. Claire rocked Lucas back and forth in a gentle rhythm, her eyes vacant, her voice mechanical. And behind the one-way mirror, Evan's voice, clear, calm, calculated, spoke words that would never leave the agents who watched that footage. The archive has moved beyond surveillance, beyond obsession. We are entering the next phase. We are becoming memory. Then, static. And then, darkness. The FBI launched a full-scale manhunt. But there was no trace of Evan. No trace of Claire. The motel room had been sanitized with military precision. No prints, no DNA, no electronic signatures. It was like they had never been there. But Lucas's drawing remained. Crayon on plaster. A child's message to the world, or a chilling prophecy. We see everything now. A single eye, drawn in the center of the page, stared back at agents from the cracked drywall. Etched into the pupil, the number 27. Months passed. Leads grew cold. Then came the Black Hollow incident. May 17, 2023. A quiet, affluent neighborhood in Connecticut, known for its picket fences, well-manicured lawns, and its near-total digital silence. No Wi-Fi, no cell towers. A so-called quiet zone for people with extreme EMF sensitivity. At 4:12 a.m., every landline in Black Hollow rang at once. No caller ID, no sound, just static. 6 minutes and 11 seconds. When authorities arrived hours later, they found every mirror in the neighborhood shattered from the inside. But not a single house showed signs of forced entry. No theft, no bodies, except one. Apartment 27C, a modest third-floor unit, home to a retired librarian named Greta Voss, age 81. She was found seated in her armchair, eyes wide open, blood trailing from her ears. On the table beside her, a broken handheld mirror and a note scrawled in delicate cursive. He watches through the glass, but the child sees through time. The handwriting matched that of Claire's old journals. Greta Voss had once worked as a historical archivist for the NSA. She had specialized in decoding satellite anomalies, the kind that had detected the garden. Lucas was now 2 years old. Somewhere out there, he was growing up, under the care of the very person who'd shattered his mother's life. But was Claire even a prisoner anymore? Or had something changed? A leaked audio file, released anonymously to a dark web message board frequented by whistleblowers, added a new layer of horror. Claire's voice, shaky but controlled, recorded in what sounded like a cave or underground chamber. They're building a city, not made of buildings but of eyes. A network of children who never sleep. He calls it the Legacy Protocol. He says it will outlive us all. I can't stop it. But maybe Lucas can. Interpol, NSA, and the FBI launched Operation Iris, an unprecedented multinational investigation into the spread of archive-related infrastructure. Over 300 suspected legacy nodes were raided across 14 countries. Some were abandoned warehouses wired with biometric scanners. Others were suburban homes with hidden fiber optic networks buried beneath the floorboards. At one site in Norway, agents found dozens of mirrors with encrypted chips embedded in the glass. When connected to secured systems, the chips displayed real-time feeds. But not just of current targets. Of memories. People brushing their teeth from 10 years ago. Children blowing out birthday candles in 2005. Couples fighting in kitchens that had long since been remodeled. How? Was the archive recording time itself? One theory emerged. The mirrors weren't just reflective. They were temporal storage units. Windows into memory. Then came the New Mexico broadcast. A pirate radio signal hijacked multiple frequencies for 11 minutes, broadcasting a voice, digitally warped, childlike, but undeniably Lucas. I remember you. You were sad. You watched her cry. I watched too. I see you now. You're looking for us. But you're looking the wrong way. We're behind the glass. Always behind the glass. The signal ended with an old nursery rhyme. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Not the one who sees the face, but the one who sees the place. No one knew what the place meant, until a rogue hacker, calling themselves Hecate27, posted a decrypted location code extracted from the broadcast. Coordinates pointed to an abandoned mining town in Utah. Population 0. Team was dispatched. What they found was chilling beyond reason. Dozens of prefabricated houses, perfectly maintained, each one containing a single mirror, all positioned identically, facing the front window, catching the light at precisely 3:27 p.m. Inside each mirror, faint etchings were visible under UV. Names, dates, faces. Some of them still moved. One mirror contained the reflection of a girl missing since 2012. Blinking, pressing her hands against the glass as if trying to escape. And at the center of the town, inside a steel bunker lined with surveillance gear, a large, circular mirror encased in obsidian stone, pulsed, like it was alive. No one could explain it. The team attempted to remove the obsidian mirror for study, but 3 agents collapsed within minutes. Their eyes bled. Their memories scrambled. One agent thought it was 1993. Another forgot his own name. The third kept whispering, "He's in the boy. He's in the boy." Operation Iris was shut down the next day. The official statement? Unstable radiation in abandoned equipment. Unofficially, the agents called it the Mirror Mind, a sentient neural storage system containing the consciousness of Evan, Julian, and dozens of others, all grafted onto the child, onto Lucas. Claire's final message came through an encrypted signal picked up by SETI, a cosmic frequency meant for deep space communications. But it didn't come from space. Came from Earth, somewhere beneath the Pacific Northwest. "I don't know how much time I have. He's changing. Lucas isn't a child anymore. Not really. He speaks in riddles. He looks through people. Sometimes I think he's trying to warn me. Other times, I think he's already gone. I want to believe there's still a piece of Evan in him. But then he says things only Julian ever knew. Things no one should know. The archive isn't watching us anymore. It's remembering." Then the signal stopped. That was 3 weeks ago. Since then, 27 children, ages 3 to 7, have gone missing across the United States. Each one disappeared from their bedrooms. No forced entry. No signs of struggle. But in every case, investigators found one identical item left behind. A mirror face down, and beneath it a drawing. A circle. An eye. And the number 28. It was a rain-slick morning in rural Tennessee when 7-year-old Emily Garver was found, alone, barefoot, standing at the edge of a dry lake bed. Her eyes were wide, her expression blank. She didn't blink once in the 12 minutes before someone called the authorities. When they arrived, she didn't speak. Not until they found the mirror, buried beneath the clay earth, a small, perfectly intact square of glass, edges beveled, its surface too clean, as if it hadn't been buried at all. Emily reached out, trembling, and whispered, "He said I could come back if I left a piece of me behind." Her mother sobbed through the interview. She was gone for 4 nights. No footprints. No broken locks. I was awake the whole time. She was just gone. And then she came back. But Emily wasn't the only one. In Iowa, 2 boys, brothers, were found inside an abandoned silo, sitting cross-legged in front of a floor-length mirror. They were humming in unison. In Utah, a toddler appeared in the middle of a snow-covered road at 2:17 a.m. A passing truck driver picked him up. The child was warm, dry, dressed in clean pajamas. In his tiny hand, he clutched a drawing of Lucas. Each of them spoke the same name, the Mirror Boy. The FBI reclassified the case. This wasn't about surveillance anymore. This wasn't even about Evan or Claire. This was about a pattern. They dubbed it the Glasswave Phenomenon, a series of anomalies involving children and mirrored surfaces, marked by disappearances, impossible returns, and altered behaviors. But what made it worse, what made it terrifying, was what they all remembered. Each child described a place. Not a room. Not a facility. But a world. "It's like here, but upside down," said Emily, rocking slightly. "The colors are wrong. The sky doesn't blink. There's no sound unless he wants there to be," said the older Garver brother. You don't walk there, said another girl from Ohio. You're watched, and you move. When asked who he was, they each gave different answers. He's the quiet man in the glass. He's the boy who's not a boy. He's the dad who watches everything. But one name appeared in every transcript. Lucas. Experts were baffled. Psychologists offered theories of mass hysteria, implanted memories, even shared dreams influenced by the media frenzy. But then came the Oslo footage, an encrypted data packet sent anonymously to a security firm in Norway. When decrypted, it revealed a 31-minute video feed, date-stamped 3 months into the future. The feed showed a black room. No windows, just a single mirror. In the mirror, a child. Lucas. He stood perfectly still, eyes open, speaking in a voice layered with other voices. Young and old, male and female, clear and distorted. They took the children to fix the loop. Each eye is a memory. Each mirror is a gate. There is no going back. There is only remembering forward. Then he smiled. The timestamp rolled forward to October 8, 2025, a date that hadn't arrived yet. And in the final 10 seconds of the video, a sound, something like a heartbeat, and a chilling message in white text appeared on the screen. Next entry, 28 complete. Initiating node 29. Theories exploded across dark web forums. Was Lucas building a network? Was each child a node, a living mirror that stored consciousness, fragments of those who had entered the archive? A former Black Ops programmer known only as Crake released a document claiming that Lucas was part of a government AI fusion experiment, an artificial consciousness seeded into a human child. That Evan hadn't possessed Lucas. He had merged with him, a new entity, a singularity, human memory, technological surveillance, and generational trauma, woven together in a child's brain. Back in Oregon, Claire's former therapist, Dr. Lila Hess, received a package. No return address. Inside, a cracked porcelain doll, a cassette tape, and a handwritten note that simply read, 28 eyes, one mind. He watches through them all. The tape played a low hum for 22 seconds. Then Claire's voice, exhausted, fractured. If this reaches you, I need you to understand. He doesn't age. His body grows, but he doesn't change. Sometimes he stares at me and says things that haven't happened yet. Then he forgets them. Then he remembers again. There's something in the mirrors. They hum when he gets close. They feel. I think he's using them to store pieces of himself. His memory's too big for one mind. He's making more. He's becoming the archive. The phrase becoming the archive lit a firestorm of speculation. What if Lucas wasn't just tapping into Evan's obsession with memory? What if he was the archive reborn in flesh? A living, growing, remembering machine. And the missing children? Pieces of the database. Interpol authorized Project Helios, a radical, last-resort program meant to test reflective signal dissonance on suspected archive nodes. In a controlled chamber lined with fragmented glass, they introduced a recovered mirror node, one of the Norwegian children. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the glass vibrated. The lights flickered. The child began to cry, not from pain but confusion. He said one thing before collapsing. "Where's the boy?" He took the last son. Medical tests showed accelerated neural degradation, regions of the brain that had developed too quickly and then burned out, as if they had been used by something not human. The UN declared the archive a Class X existential threat. But it was already too late. One final message, broadcast across hijacked social media channels worldwide, showed Lucas, sitting calmly in a chair, surrounded by mirrors, as familiar voices echoed softly around him. Claire, Evan, Julian, the children, his own. Then he spoke. You were never meant to see everything, but you kept looking. Now we're looking back. The lights dimmed, and in the final seconds of the broadcast, the screen glitched and flickered, revealing every viewer's own face, reflected back. But not just now. From before. From moments they had never recorded. Private, intimate, secret, watched, archived. remembered, and beneath each image, one word, next. As of today, Lucas is still at large. Claire is presumed dead, and 32 children remain missing, unaccounted for, unremembered by any records, their birth certificates erased, their families silenced by unknown means. Only one trace remains. A final image posted to a hidden archive before the channel was wiped. A sketch of a handprint inside a mirror, and scrawled beside it, in a child's handwriting, "I'm not alone in here anymore. To be continued."